Hello everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today I'm giving myself the difficult task of trying to teach chord progressions and Roman numerals on the banjo. And I don't exactly play banjo, but I've got a book that I've made that is teaching me a lot about banjo and tons of other instruments, and I'd like to show you how you can use it to start understanding chord progressions in terms of 1 chords and 6 chords and 4 chords and 5 chords and back to 1. So let me show you how that works. Okay, in this lesson we're going to use a Fretboard Toolbox Complete 5-String Banjo Edition. We're going to again turn to page 19, and on this lesson we want to focus on the chords that are in the key and then the Roman numerals for the chords. So I want to start thinking about chord progressions in terms of, if I'm going from C major to F major to G major, I want to think about that as a 1, 4, 5. Or if I'm going from C major to A minor to F major, I want to think of that as a 1, 6, 4 kind of progression. Because when I can think about the Roman numerals for chords, then if I turn to any other page for any other key, I can still see a 1, 4, 5 in the key of D is D, G, A, and in the key of D, a 1, 6, 4, 5 is D major, B minor, G major, A major. So I can start figuring out songs in lots of different keys, which is pretty cool, which is why I set up a toolbox page for every key. But today we want to look at these C major chord progressions and start thinking about what to listen for on these progressions. So the first one is a C, G, C chord progression. So if you're not sure how to build these chords, check out my chord building video in C major, and it'll show you how I try to build these chords on a banjo. But I've said it's not my best instrument by far. Okay, so here's a C major. C major is gonna be my 1 chord. C major is my 1 chord, and then I'm gonna go to a 5 chord, G major, and then I'm gonna come back to 1. So here's C major, G major, C major. Like in all my banjo videos, I'm not using any picks to try to make it a little quieter, cover up any mistakes that I will make. So here's C major, G major, C major. That's a 1, 5, 1. So the thing to listen for on the 5 chord is that it has a lot of tension. C major is my home bass, my root in this key. Then G major makes me want to come back to C major. Or if I play a G major up here, listen to that. It's C major, G major, back to C major. That's a 1, 5, 1 progression. A 1, 4, 5 progression in the key of C major is going to be C major, F major, G major. So here I'm going to go C major. Let me try to get a C major here. C major, F major, G major, C major. And the thing about 4 chords is that I feel like they kind of drive you away from the root. So here's the root. The 4 chord kind of pushes you away from the root. The 5 chord has a lot of tension, and then you can resolve that by bringing it back to the 1 chord. Both C major chords there. So that was 1, 4, 5, 1. You can also mix those up a bit, and you can play a 1, 5, 4 progression. So a 1, 5, 4 is going to be C, G, F. So here's C major, G major, F major, back to C. So I really like that 1, 5, 4 progression, and you see it a lot. And when you know to listen for it, it starts getting easier to figure out songs on your own, especially when you know which chords are most likely going to be played in a song. If I'm at a jam session, not playing banjo obviously, and someone says, okay, the song's in the key of C, then I've already got a real good idea of what chords we're going to go to. I'm expecting to see F majors and G majors, and might see D minors and E minors and A minors. I could actually even see D major sometimes, or E major, and then I know I'm breaking some rules, and I'll explain those more complicated progressions in a later video. But just start listening for those chords, and if you start thinking about them in terms of Roman numerals, some cool stuff starts happening. 1, 6, 4, 5 progressions played all the time. That's going to be C major, A minor, and the A minor I'm playing is A, E, C, E. So C major, A minor, F major, G major, back to C major. A 1-6-2-5 is going to be C, A minor, D minor, G. So here's my one chord is C major, my two chord or my sixth chord is A minor, my two chord is going to be D minor. So I'm going C major, A minor, D minor. So C major, A minor, D minor, and then from D minor it goes to G major, or back to C major. So that's C major, A minor, D minor, G major, back to C major. And so notice that the minor chords like A minor or D minor, or here's E minor, same position, it's like 5-4, 5-4, 5-5. They all have sadder kind of sounds, but the major chords have happier sounds. Being able to see those Roman numerals is huge. C, D minor, F, G. We're going to play C major, D minor, F major, G major, back to C. And then a last progression, G major, F major, C major. So that one, not all progressions start on one chords, but a whole lot of them do. So on here I'm listening for this descending kind of sound of G major to F major to C major. So if I start with this G major, so that was G major, F major, back to C major. Remember, I don't really play banjo, so. But the point is just being able to think about chords in terms of these Roman numerals, and when you start doing that, and especially if you know which notes it takes to build the chords, and you know some common progressions and ways to arrange the chords, and you can see all that all over the fretboard, some real cool ideas open up. So, hope you found something useful from someone that doesn't exactly play the banjo, and if you want to subscribe, I've got videos on ukuleles and guitars and pianos and all kinds of things that I play to various degrees. So, but all with this toolbox method. So once you understand this, then all of these rules apply in all of this section. They apply to all every instrument in the world, and so you can unlock tons and tons of cool things. So, hope you found something interesting, and thanks again.